Just looking at those San Diego Supercharger uniforms, man, they got to go back to those. Those things are on fire, man. What is cooling? What's going on? I hope you guys are having a great day. And yes, sir, we got the Bolts. We got the Super Bolts or the Thunder Bolts or maybe the Los Angeles Chargers, one of the two. Anyway, we are going to be rocking here at number 16 for them, right in the middle of the NFL for this rankings. Let's get into the roster. Let's do it. Let's talk about the offensive line, the tackle room. I rank at 3. This is the one pro getting these two guys back. Rashawn Slater, Joe O, a 1-2 punch that is one of the best, if not the best in the NFL. And as long as they stay healthy, they could easily be the best in the NFL. Trey Pipkins started out the game at left tackle, and Alt was over at right tackle just recently in the 49ers game. Travis Burke played right tackle this week. In the first week, he played left. I thought Burke actually looked pretty good. And they've also had Logan Taylor. I put him on the interior, but he also plays at tackle, which is where they had him this past night over at left tackle. And they had him at right tackle in week 1. But I figured let's go ahead and at least list him here. Overall, Trey Pipkins going to be their main swing tackle. Burke will probably be their long swing tackle, the 4th round rookie from Memphis. I didn't even watch him, but he looks pretty good. So I'm impressed with them. I think they're in a much better position in this tackle room. Interior, big question here. I might have to even lower their ranking a bit. I have them at 30. The 30 ranking was before Tyler Biadasz getting injured, and now that he's probably done for the season, or at least for a while, Jake Slaughter comes in here and has to start for them. He's looked good so far. I thought last night he played well. You got Cole Strange at right guard. You know my affinity for Cole Strange. I love him. I think he is a fantastic football player, and I'm rooting for him. You just got to stay healthy. The guy, whenever he builds momentum, he gets good, and then he just ends up getting injured, unfortunately, and it ruins and stalls all his momentum. Kyoto Ashika, left guard, coming up from the Detroit Lions. He's going to be competing with guys like Trevor Penning, Logan Taylor, Alex Harkey even. Biadasz injury makes this thing a lot more interesting. Let's just put it that way, because it really was like Jake Slaughter versus Coyote Ashika versus Trevor Penning coming into this. Now I think that Penning is more than likely locked in for the roster. I don't see him as a starter. I still would probably go with Ashika right now. That will be a toss-up, though, and could end up coming down to week 1 in this next preseason game. Jacob Spooner has been decent, too, UDFA. He actually has held his own. Josh Kaltenberger, not a huge fan. Saw him get beat a couple of times so far, but you never know. Harkey's been okay. Those are some guys, of course, we got to keep an eye out on, especially for like the practice squad and not. But Spooner, I think, is definitely a practice squad candidate that has some potential down the line as a backup center. Don't think he could really play guard a ton, but that's kind of what it is. The interior is a big concern here and will maybe be one of the biggest question marks on this entire roster. The good thing, though, is they've got the right coordinator to get the job done here, because Mike McDonald will want to get the ball out quick. He's going to want to lean on the run game, which we'll talk about very soon. Wide receiver, I rank him at 25. You got the lad, you got Quentin Johnston, you got Trey Harris going into year number 2. Expecting some big things from Trey Harris. Jim's talked heavily about Trey taking that next jump, and can't wait to see it. They've got a great complementary set of skills right here. And you got Lad McConkey, who's the route runner. You got Quentin Johnston to take the top over the defense. Trey Harris can kind of be your possession, intermediate target. It's a good group. And then you bring in Brendan Thompson, a speedster, electric, explosive, dynamic ability that he brings to the table. They have this combo. And then I think Keandre Lambert-Smith, at least in my opinion, is the next best on this roster. Whether they were to keep Darius Davis, they may have to make a decision if they only want to keep 5 guys. Probably end up keeping 6. Davis gives you some return ability, unless they want to rock out with Thompson in that regard. And then some more dudes out here that I think are practice squad candidates, like Liam Clifford and Deontay Ross and Sincere Brown. Those are some guys. I think Brown had a drop last night, if I remember correctly. I just watch highlights in preseason. I don't watch full games in preseason. When we get into the regular season, then I watch all the full games. So don't quote me completely on that. You can quote me. Quote me anyway. Hit me with the times. But yeah, during the regular season, then I watch the full games. On to the tight end room, man. We rank them at number 19. David Njoku's here. You got Orlando Gadsden and then Charlie Kohler. I expect Kohler to be the main starter, but I list Gadsden because I had the picture for it, and it's pretty cool because of that yellow up in there. Just imagine the yellow with the old school San Diego Charger blue helmet. Oh, that'd be sweet. And David Njoku is going to be a nice addition for them with Charlie Kohler as a number 2 tight end, and Orlando Gadsden could be that good secondary receiving option for them as he continues to go. He's looked good so far, too. He's had a couple of really nice catches, and I am a huge fan. And then on to the running back room, I rank him at number 26. The Hamptons are back. Amari Hampton, Kamani Vidal, Keaton Mitchell, as long as he stays out there, they got a nice explosive burst out of him. But Hampton, really good running back. Kamani Vidal, it's actually been pretty solid, too. And then besides that, you're going to have some competition. Patterson and Johnson are my guess. Amari Johnson was good in week 1. Didn't see as much of him in this week, but hey, he's a guy that might end up making it as the 4th guy if they do that. But Alec Ingold, as I mentioned before, should end up making the roster for that fullback position. In a solid position here, running back. Nothing too crazy. And there's some upside with Amari Hampton to get him higher. But for right now, just trying to be a little conservative with this ranking and maybe with some injury history that they've had. On to the quarterbacks we go. Justin Herbert, he's getting married. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Mason Beer is here, drinking a fifth of vodka. No, that's a different alcohol. But Justin Herbert getting married to Madison Beer. So we can make all the jokes we want out here. You know, this division's just loaded with celebrity couples. Keep it going, right? Trey Lance is the backup. I think he's the clear-cut backup. DJ Ooey, yeah, I'm struggling. Yeah, DJ U, what are you doing, baby? Ooey Uncle, I don't think we'll end up making the roster. He's struggled a bit. And Trey Lance, he played better this week. Had a nice long run. And generally speaking, hasn't been too bad. I think he's a solid backup. So I rank him at number 6. Just keep Herbert upright. On to the defense, and we got the Mac attack. You got Talilua. Talui, how about Louis? But Tuipulotu. Sorry, two into tongue twisted. That's something, I don't know where that's from, but I feel like it's from some long-term TV show. Akeem Mesidor here as an edge rusher. The young man coming, well, I mean, he's an older rookie, but that's fine. He's the rookie. They drafted a lot of older rookies, except for Genesis Smith. I think everybody they drafted was like 23 or 24 or 25. But Mesidor should be an immediate impact as a pass rusher. Bud Dupree, good, solid run defender. Those are the 4 guys. Kyle Kennard's banged. He's a little injured right now. But I think that Nadeem Tucker could push him for that spot. I would actually give it to Tucker over Kennard, personally. Just have not seen much from Kennard that would make me want to keep him over Nadeem Tucker if they were just to keep 5 edge rushers, which is my guess. I think they'll end up just keeping 5. Andre Carter actually didn't play too bad last night. Thought I saw him make some nice pressures on the quarterback. Tucker did have that one pressure that resulted in the interception. Actually, Junior Colson. I'm like Colston Loveland. That doesn't make any sense. But Junior Colson made that interception, the pick 6. It was a free rush by Tucker. But still, hey, it counts. It really counts. It really counts. I got songs stuck in my head right now. Getting a little slap happy out up in here. But Tucker should be a good developmental guy with his speed. Gonna have to get better with his hands, in my opinion. But he's got some good speed off the edge and get after the quarterback. Defensive tackle, I rank him at 22. You got Tyler Tart, Dalvin Tomlinson, Jamari Caldwell, and Justin Igbogbe. Good, solid group there. And then Nick Barrett as your rotational run defender. Those are your 5 guys. I don't think they could keep 6 if they were to keep 6. I like Edwards. He made some good plays actually last night. I thought he was able to get after the quarterback. He's got that dense, smaller build, but he's a little slippery up in there in the trenches. You got some more practice squad like Webb, Guillory, and Carter. Those would be more, dudes to watch out for maybe in the future. On to the linebacking core now. Rank them at 28, led up by Deion Henley. You got Denzel Perriman and Troy Dye as your 3 guys that are locked in, the 3 amigos. I think Phillips has a really good chance. If you're picking a 5th guy here, this is where it gets a little interesting, right? Because Marlon Wax, good week 1. Week 2, not so good. I thought Junior Colson, week 1, Week 2, good, right? He made that pick 6 and thought it was pretty good in general. So if it's a toss-up, you're probably going with the 3rd-round selection guy. Like, that just makes sense. You say, okay, we spent a 3rd-round pick on him. Whether or not he can still develop and whatnot is to remain to be seen. Has a lot of upside. Just has been injured too, a lot of that. Maybe he can stay healthy and build a little bit of momentum here, and that's the dude they're looking for. But Henley and Perriman figure to be your early on starters with Troy Dye out here. It's not the worst room. It's not the best room either. They'll get the job done. I don't instill a ton of confidence it's going to be an above-average linebacking core, which is fine. No big deal. And then going on to the secondary here and starting off the cornerback room, I rank them at 14. And I also have to include Derwin James in this group. So that ranking moves up a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy, but James can play in the slot a good amount. Like, Still can play in the slot. James can play in the slot. They'll rock in with the amount of safeties that they have, too, back there that are really good. And we'll get into the safety room here very, very soon. But Jackson Hart will rotate out there on the outside and Still can rotate on the outside. Or he'll play in the slot if they want to keep 3 corners. This would be my overall guess on the set. If they're playing two corners and a safety. Then you got obviously James in the slot, and then you have Still and either Jackson or Hart. I do think Jackson made the most actual just plays last season. I still think Still is their best number one corner. Hart's been fine. Deion Leonard, more of a zone guy. I don't like him as much in man coverage. You got Nico Reed. I like Nico Reed. I don't know if he'll end up making the roster this season. Maybe he ends up going to the practice squad and they call him up throughout the year. Avery Smith, more of a guy that I think ends up making the practice squad. He's made some plays, but he's also lost on some plays. Same thing with really a lot of these guys, like Rodney Shelley. I've seen him make a couple of plays, but I've also seen him get beat a couple of times. Waxter made a nice play last night, too. Had an interception, kind of read in the eyes of the quarterback and had a good little jump there. So this room's looking pretty good. And especially if you factor in the safety room, too, which I rank at number 5. It's a top 5 room. Elijah Molden, Tony Jefferson, RJ Mickens. Those are your 3 guys when James is in the slot. Mickens has been good, too, already, and I may boost that grade up here really soon because I think he's a starter. Jefferson's been great. I'm glad he's going to make the roster this season. He's had to work his way these past couple of years for them. Now he finally makes the roster, and you can just steep him and rock him steady. And Genesis Smith, oh my gosh, Genesis Smith is electric in the back end. He's got to tackle, though. That's his problem, is tackling. Coming downhill, he had a missed tackle, too, last night, or a bad angle that resulted in a big run. Got to get better in that part. But he's able to develop here, learn some of those things. But in the back end, oh, he can make plays for days. That one-handed interception, well, it was out of bounds. Still, the guy, Tarheeb Still, yeah, we could talk about him, too. But in terms of that, yeah, Smith has a ton of upside there in the back end, and he's their youngest player they drafted. Besides that, though, you got Williamson. I think he could carve out a role in the practice squad special teams ability. Devin Grant made some plays, missed some plays. He had that one where he could have jumped and got it a little bit. I think he mistimed it, but he also had that interception in the back end, too. So he's a guy that I think ends up making the practice squad. But that's going to do it here for the Bolts of Lightning today. The Thunderbolts, the Thundercats, the Los Angeles Chargers. I hope you guys have a good day. Let me know about your thoughts on this football team. Do you think they are a playoff team? I certainly think they're a playoff team. It just comes down to it's a tough division. You got some questions on the O-line. At the end of the day, injuries are a big part of it too. And if they can stay healthy, they still have as good of a chance as any to win a Super Bowl. They are as talented. But with those question marks, we'll see. What's going on in LA or over out west with the injuries? I don't know. Maybe they got something going on over there, some juju. They need to call up Ted Lasso and get some things figured out. I'm watching that show. It is fire. I hope you guys have a good day, though. Keep it rocking. Keep it bolting. Get your electricals charged.